Le veston, jamais fait une trop pas. Big plan, j'ai fait changer toute la piste. Regarde ma pêche, je suis pas j'attire. Je coupe la ligne, laisse la cul, laisse mire. Nouvelle état, new name, toujours fluide dans le move. Main en l'air quand je rentre dans le groove. Garde ce regard, je suis déjà posé. Deux pas, je tourne, glace dans mes yeux figés. Vite encore, puis je prends tout ce qui est à moi. Trop vite, trop fort.
To dominate, they have brought it back.
Playoffs, baby.
The Falcons' curse strikes again. Wildcard shows that they're on top of the world still. Falcons dropping into the lower bracket makes this extremely interesting with all these top teams being there.
Falcons players were really animated when they were winning rounds, but at the end of the day, when they were losing, they stopped and we showed them who the real boss is.
Are we playing for play?
Oh, we're playing for kills. Surely another one here. Bay with the 4K. Nako shield up. No, it's gone up, but then it's Gadiot. The pistol shot connects.
Winner go home starts now. Elimination games up next. Team Liquid versus M80. Going to be one of the top dogs of Brazil versus one of the top dogs of North America. You can't miss this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mambo number 5. Time for us to get into play day 5, an exciting one with all the fun games behind us. We now look forward to elimination match after elimination match ending ultimately tomorrow in what will be our qualifying matches. Welcoming on the desk, Guz and Xenox. How are we feeling, gents? No, I can kind of... Oh, wait, wait, go again. No.
Oh,
there we go. We're back.
Honestly, probably not a bad idea. Excited for today, though,
yes.
Rob. I mean, what a day we've got. It's a curtain raiser APAC elimination match, a repeat of Salt Lake City. And then after that, M80 Team Liquid Alienware promises to be a fun Saturday.
Yeah, as our good friend Iconic was saying there, the best of the regions, not the best at the region, but it does feel like that matchup later in the afternoon. That's going to be a very interesting one. But guys, we didn't even touch on in the intro, 4 teams already qualified through to main stage.
Yeah, they get a pretty significant break now to kind of sit back, relax, and most importantly, watch the rest of these games and get some really good vision on the teams that are still yet to qualify. But it's been a great event so far. I think the quality of the Siege has actually really been top notch, and I don't expect that to shift over the last couple of days of this phase.
Even from the teams that I think coming into this event, your Fanatics, GK qualifying, making playoffs. So certain teams that maybe you didn't anticipate to be performing the way that they have certainly risen to the occasion. I don't know if I can say the same for maybe the CNL teams have struggled a little bit, but we'll see. Edward Gaming is still alive. And obviously for this matchup today, when it comes to Weibo versus Enterprise, we may be a little bit biased, Rob, but it's a bias that's actually neutral in the end because we can't pick a side.
No, you kind of weigh each other out in the end. Asia owes who knows, but of course we've had 5 days of action with still another 4 on the line after this one. So let's go ahead and have a quick look at how the format is playing out.
Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege returns to the Esports World Cup for another year of intense FPS action. The teams that qualified directly for the main event group stage have been split into 2 groups, the play-in teams joining them to make 8 teams in each group. Those teams will play a double elimination bracket, with 4 teams from each group advancing to the playoffs. In the playoffs, second chances are gone as lower bracket is removed in favor of a single elimination competition. Teams will battle to make it to the final, with a 3rd place match also set for the final day of the tournament. Opening matches in the play-in stage and group stage will be a best of 1. All other matches will be a best of 3, with the exception of the grand final, which will be a best of 5. There's a lot of Siege to play here at the EWC, and the stakes are higher than ever. So sit back, relax, and get ready to be entertained.
A huge format culminating in a best of 5 grand final. That's what we've got on the line, but we still need to get to those stages because ultimately that's what every team here cares about, making main stage, making it into the playoffs. That is where you really make your money and where you really show your true form, Jake. I mean, the teams that we do have so far that have already qualified through, you've got to say that most of them are probably the best that we did have going in the groups.
Well, Dark Zero, Wildcard, there's no contest there for those two. They can both win this event. And then you kind of look at FaZe Clan. That makes sense. I don't think anyone's going to debate that. GK Esports, though. Just a little bit, I was a bit surprised that they qualified the way that they did in the upper bracket, but fair play to them, of course, beating Furia 2-0.
Yep.
And funnily enough, beat Enterprise, of course, in that 8-7 game back to the best of 1. So they've been able to make the most of their run. They qualified for playoffs, and now it's a matter of, who are going to join those teams today. Well, not today, actually, tomorrow.
Well,
but
tomorrow.
Who's going to have a chance to join them tomorrow?
Well, if you want a chance of taking $750K home, that's what you've got to do. You've got to continue to win every game from here on out. There's no second chances. As James Devmarter Stewart would say, there's no more parachute. But I did ask James yesterday, I'm going to ask you guys, if you won $750,000, you couldn't invest it, you couldn't buy a home, what would you do with it?
I would spend it all on the Rainbow Six Esports store and get all the skins.
Geez, he's good. He's quick on the spot, isn't he, Jay?
You know what I would do?
What would you do?
I would invest it.
No, but
You're not
you
allowed.
can't invest it and you can't buy a home.
Okay.
Yeah, you see, now you've just gone ahead and ruined it. But let's not ruin this anymore. Let's get away from our conversation and have a look at how we got here, because ultimately we've just kind of given a little bit of a tee up there for who's qualifying through to the playoffs already, but we still have a lot more to get through as you're looking now down into our decider matches, the lower bracket. Guz, it's tooth and nail from here on out.
Yeah, it really is. It doesn't get much more tricky than this. The decider matches here in Group A, both Falcons and CAG by Varel waiting for their respective matches. And both of those two teams are still in pretty good form despite finding themselves in that lower bracket position. So it's tough to probably envision Secret and AG being able to go all the way. But for M80 and Team Liquid Alien, we're probably standing a firmer chance.
Looking at the B bracket, B group, are they going to be the best?
A lot of bees.
There's a lot of bees.
Not
the bees!
Not the bees. Look, I mean, I think it's similar to the Falcons storyline that you just posed, guys. I think they'll likely be able to see off either Secret or AG. Furia, for me, will be pretty firm favorites against either Fnatic or Edward Gaming. Although I would say Fnatic Fury is not a totally one-sided race. The real question mark's going to be Weibo Enterprise then have to play Virtus Pro. Now, for a lot of the outsiders from APA, they look at that, they just say VP win. But I think either Weibo or EP on their day, bring their best, certainly could give VP a run for their money. But you never know. It just depends on the day. And I think that the main thing clearly, though, for Weibo and Enterprise is this match because of the implications for the next major.
Obviously on stage right now, some pretty intense matchups. And of course, this now leads into what is absolutely our story of the day. This right now behind us is the battle for APAC. And this is monumentally large, not just for this event. Bragging rights, EWC prize money, SI slot on the line. But Jake, it's actually a little more than that. It's a little more intense than that because the repercussions will echo to our next major.
Yeah, well, they certainly will, as I was alluding to. So as things stand for Weibo Gaming, they do have it slightly more difficult than Enterprise. They need to, of course, win today. But then, guys, they also need to beat Virtus Pro after that. If they can do that, they will actually control the 2 slots for the next major, pending if then CAG could go for a top 4 run. We'll put that in the unlikely category. For Enterprise, though, win today against Weibo. They'll maintain the 2 slots unless CAG make top 3.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one on this main stage. However, we do have another matchup a little later. Iconic, obviously, already teeing that one up. M80, Team Liquid Alienware, guys. That one should actually be pretty close.
I think both of these games are complete bangers, to be completely frank. Match 1 should be incredibly tight. And whilst I think M80 might just have a slight edge going into that second matchup, I don't think it's definitive enough to say that they're firm favorites in that particular matchup, right? So expecting probably 6 maps and a long stream here over on the main channel.
Yeah, looking back at yesterday, obviously a lot of action took place to get us to this point, and I feel as though, you know, it is important to look back because it is important to understand how some of these teams got here, how some of these teams really started to perform. Actually, no. In saying that, Jake, none of these teams are actually playing today, but it is good to have a bit of a snapshot as what we've seen so far. I will say, like I'm going to say it with my chest, Wildcard look wildly favorited.
I mean, they look good, but they've also looked good now for the last 12 months. You know, they're at that point, I think, in their career as a team where they should be challenging for trophies. They should be challenging for winning an entire event. So, of course, this match against Falcons, 7-5, 8-6, but the full story not told in the comeback. The choke on that second map. Liquifax standing up, pointing at his name. Funnily enough, I think I was either in the crowd or watching it in the green room, and I said immediately, they're going to lose now.
Yeah.
And they ended up losing. Bay with the stand-up choke as well, which we saw Player do for Chiefs.
And how did that go?
Well, he lost that game. Bay and Wildcard certainly did, and they closed it out in 2. And then you can see, of course, here on the replays, as far down as 5-1 in that first half. We know Fortress is, of course, defender-sided, so I can understand why, from Liquifax's perspective, once they got to 6, it's sort of thinking, okay, maybe we've got this in the bag, but evidently not. And some big plays from Wildcard down the stretch. They look really, really good.
They certainly do. And it is a beautiful storyline for them. Self-made. Now they're coming into EWC looking red hot. On the opposite side, Virtus Pro, I felt like there was such a great opportunity for them yesterday against former world champions FaZe. However, FaZe really did show their class, guys.
Yeah, we got a very clear map veto for this best of 3. That was the storyline that we established very early on in the pre-show, and it played out exactly in that fashion. It was very one-sided on Fortress, map number 1 going the way of VP, and FaZe struggling to get out the blocks. And then they responded on Border, 7-2 on the flip. It all culminated in Lair, where, again, it was very much a tug of war in the first half, but then FaZe, being FaZe, were simply too good. And in the second half, they ran away with a 7-4 victory. So FaZe are still very much up there in the S tier with a very solid chance of being able to win this event.
I probably back both FaZe and Wildcard to end up in the grand final, regardless of where that bracket kind of sees them. I'm actually not sure whether they will verse each other in a semi.
What about Dark Zero?
What
about Dark Zero?
Oh, I mean, Dark Zero is up there, but also they stumble and fell a little bit throughout the groups, didn't they? They didn't look red.
It's irrelevant. They're the major champions.
I love irrelevancy from you. Let's keep it relevant. Let's keep it topical as we look at Weibo, the best roster out of Asia. I'm going to say ever. I think it's so firm to say right now, Guz, that this is the best we've ever seen. A team from Asia.
Yeah, it is. I can't disagree. I mean, you'd be crazy to disagree. These guys with so much pedigree, so much experience, and even with Gotti being injected in the squad at the beginning of this year, and maybe some doubts being cast as to whether or not that was going to be difficult for him to be a part of this project, I think he's slotted in really nicely and has proven that even at the international stage as well, that he can be influential, he can be impactful.
He was top fragging one of the games, and his performance so far at the event has been incredible. So I had my reservations on Gotti. Admittedly, I did. And honestly, he's impressed me with what he's been able to do here on his first land with this team. So if he can continue to perform to a very high level, then I don't see any issues with him staying on this roster. Weibo continuing to move forward. And as I said, best team in Asia for a reason.
Furious.
has been incredible. So I had my reservations on Gotti. Admittedly, I did. And honestly, he's impressed me with what he's been able to do here on his first land with this team.
Yep.
So if he can continue to perform to a very high level, then I don't see any issues with him staying on this roster. Weibo continuing to move forward. And as you said, best team in Asia for a reason. I feel like in terms of that slot discussion, they're probably the region that maybe needs it the least, because Weibo have just got such a stranglehold on that region. On the flip side, though, for OS, and a perfect segue, which is what we like to do on this desk, Rob, Enterprise don't have that grasp on the Oceanic region anymore with Chiefs and their ascension. 8-7 grand final. Imagine if it was only one slot. They could easily lose it. They could then miss out on the next major. So for Enterprise today, must win, keep the 2 slots, and that just gives you the cushion. Because the funny thing is, in OS, there is probably only 2 teams.
Yeah. No one would disagree with that. And I think when you look at EP, when you look at the roster that they've formed over the last 2 years, they look red hot, Guz. I mean, you're looking at the likes of Jigsaw, you're looking at the likes of Bappen that really do top nearly every rating, not just in OS, but globally. They are up there as some of the best in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at the player stats actually for this particular event for Esports World Cup so far, they don't have that standout player just yet. But again, limited sample size, and they still got themselves in this position. So they played a solid brand of Siege up until this point. And we have that historical evidence to go off back at Salt Lake City, where we had a very similar matchup, very similar circumstances, and EP got a pretty solid 2-0 victory in that series. The kind of matchup where it would have been posed as a 50-50. It would have been expected to go 3 maps. It wasn't the case.
Speaking of 3 maps, how about we have a look at which 3 maps may be needed for this series? Of course, a decider. The thing is, after that, after a 2-0 win in their most previous matchup, I think you actually have to just wash away Salt Lake City, because this matchup in particular, this goes deep. Over the last year and a half, these 2 teams have played each other 4 times, and it's split right down the middle, 4 maps to 4 maps, Guz. But Clubhouse, Labs, Chalet, I feel like these maps echo through time with these 2 teams.
It's just APAC, as Jake described it when we saw it before coming live. I don't think it's really going to move a needle in either direction. Both teams are going to be satisfied with how the veto does play out. In terms of the decider, which is likely expected to be required, is the kind of map where, again, Weibo, perfect record, 6-0, EP, 4-1, perfect record, skewed, of course, by local bias. But again, just making it clear that this isn't a veto like we saw from maybe VP and FaZe, right, where we had 2 very distinct maps to open, and it was very difficult to foresee the underdog winning out. On these 3 maps, it is anyone's for the taking.
Well, don't forget, Nighthaven Labs actually played in that series, Salt Lake City Major, and Enterprise ended up winning that. So surprising that Weibo are going to go back to the well and see if they can improve on last time. As for the Chalet decider, that was also, funnily enough, the decider in that series. And so maybe will we get to see it today as a real decider? Fortress was the 3rd map. That, of course, won't feature today. Clubhouse instead. I will say, in terms of the veto, I will give the slight preference to Enterprise, considering the map pick of Weibo is the one that Enterprise beat them on not too long ago at Salt Lake City. So yeah, I think EP are probably in the slightly better position at the moment.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But I still think that, like, Weibo, since Salt Lake City, have continued to progress. They've continued to look better. They've continued to build upon what we've seen from them in the past and really maturing. I think from kickoff to Salt Lake City into Stage 1, guys, they do look like a very, very strong roster that, I mean, I think they will beat us. I'm going
to be completely honest, Rob. I do not know what you said at all there, because I've been transfixed by our second monitor, where we can look at the lobby and the trash talk has already begun between these 2 rosters. And that is a serious talking point. Both of them love being vocal inside of the server. And what ascendancy.
Weibo not as much lately. They have
not as much. In the last 6 months, they've definitely tapered off. And I think that, honestly, what they've done is they've just put duct tape over Turd's mouth. Or really, they've just restricted him from hitting the T button, because he really was a bit of a yapper. However, I do think that it's going to play a huge part in this series.
Well, it certainly could. I mean, it's clearly something that Enterprise like to go into. They want that trash talk to be their thing. Whether it's good, bad is pretty much up to your own personal opinion. I think when you're playing well, you can do what you want. And when you're not playing as well, maybe best to leave the talking for another day.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? Because generally you trash talk when you're doing well. And as we've seen at this event, Jay,
come back to bite you.
It has come back to bite a number of players. We have a look at EP in their earlier match. You look at Falcons in their matchup yesterday. It truly does start to show. You can see the
I would love just like a C stream where we could just get the old chat permanently fixed because it's great content. It's great content. Might not be stream friendly.
That are definitely not stream friendly.
No.
It's better not show all chat.
Again, though, if you're gonna talk the talk, you've got to walk the walk. And these two teams, at least domestically, that's what they're renowned for. Internationally, certainly more mixed. But this is the kind of matchup where there's ego on the line.
Yep.
Like, let's not get it twisted. This is an ego battle, if anything, and that's why we're expecting it to be such a fierce contest.
And a lot of love, honestly. Like you just before we were kind of prepping and setting up, and I see Hoven go over, have a chat with Brendo. You know, these two teams have seen each other 4 times in person over the last year.
I think the coach battle as well, we didn't touch on it. We're getting into the game, Rob, but it's going to be so important. Magnet, Gohan, for what they've done to their respective teams. I think they've helped really elevate both Weibo and Enterprise respectively.
I would totally agree with that, but the context is very simple at the moment. This is an elimination matchup. This is a battle for APAC, and we have 2 of APAC's best casting.
Oh, thank you, Rob.
I didn't know, Devin.
No, he's going to
thank you for jumping in.
No, I'm excited for this, and as we should be. Weibo Enterprise, it's an elimination match at the Esports World Cup. You've got ramifications regarding the next major. The storylines write themselves. We don't have to do much of the heavy lifting in this one to make it interesting. Repeat from the Salt Lake City major. I'm sure Weibo would want revenge. They want a bit of a strike back at Enterprise after what EP did to them. Of course, potentially now, depending if they've made it home, Chiefs will be watching along, and whether they would want to or not, I'm sure they're supporting the EP boys. They'd like at least the safe net of the 2 slots.
And maybe they'll have the dodgy plane Wi-Fi on the way home if they're mid-air to tune in for this one. They won't want to miss it.
K-Star would be watching as well and cheering on Weibo.
The entirety of APL will be watching this match.
Absolutely. Although I don't know what time it is. I think it's... What time is it over there? Oh, it's only midnight.
That's reasonable gamer hours.
Well, they should be on. All my APL fans in the chat, make some noise. Let's get underway here at the Esports World Cup. Weibo on defense, Clubhouse, Enterprises map pick, elimination game. Winner will play Virtus Pro tomorrow for what will then be a playoff qualification match. This is a repeat. This is the El Clasico of the APAC region. Let's get underway.
Yeah, basement for the opening site. Weibo go double info, ban, and elect to roam. They go hand in hand, those decisions, as EP of emphasis on hard breach denial, with the Kaid and the Mirror benched for the next 6 rounds. EP certainly the style of team that will want to take this roam head on. As we mentioned before, a friendly ego battle between these two. And so by gaining a bit of momentum early, that could be quite meaningful in this matchup. And you look at the split from Weibo, almost everyone off-site currently. Just speak easy on the objective, just in case there's any dirt lurk from EP.
I had a quick little glance at the prediction poll on Twitch. It does still have 9 minutes to go, but it's currently never mind, actually just closed. 60-40 split in favor of Weibo Gaming for the first map. I think anything and near that 50-50 mark is going to be around the mark. Minute gone. Reaps active towards Kitchen, who can land first blood.
Keep us strike true. Barrier deployed.
This is a big stack roam from Weibo Gaming.
Oh, Reaps is isolated now, potentially. If Tuhan goes for the squeeze on drone.
Oh, Reaps, swing. Easy clear onto the Monty, but Jigsaw gets the quick trade. Not ideal, though, for EP to lose Tuhan on the Montaigne. Reaps does his job.
I think you take that if you're Weibo.
Yeah, you certainly do. If you want, you could fall back and play basement side, but they do still have a double stack on the top floor. Hoven lurking around lounge. In fact, has now made his way back down safely. Brendo posturing over towards main stairs.
Still multiple members of this defense, second floor, so EP have elected to ignore and bypass. And that proves costly.
Gotti, both finding a kill each. Gotti found his on the top floor against Jigsaw. Brendo, Bappin, last to a life for Enterprise. So far, strong start from the defense of Weibo. It's a split push, and Bappin by himself towards blue. Good start from Weibo, and I like the aggressiveness on the defense. Happy to roam, happy to move around, and happy to swing, take these fights. Weibo should have the patience here to not swing into Bappin. He is good enough to probably get a double kill.
Also going to get pinched as well. Top red got it.
And let the trash talk begin. And a swing from Turd as he collects the kill, sprays the body. First blood goes the way of Weibo Gaming.
Yeah, it was a nice start there from Weibo. Really good aggression off site. Reaps rewarded with a good run out. And whilst it was traded, EP lost the Monty, forced that into a plan B, a more direct approach. And whilst they went for the transition, lost a couple of players courtesy of that offsite play from Weibo.
Well, the thing about Turd, the other day I was watching him. I think he went about 2 and 11. Did not make a single facial expression. And I've seen him drop 20 and also make no facial expression. The man is an enigma. He does not change. He just chews away. And a little team ace for Weibo Gaming. Everyone gets one. Sharing the love around. Of course, Church Arsenal on Clubhouse, very defender-sided in the APAC region. No surprise for Weibo to take that site. But Jim Bedroom, guys, actually, I was looking at the statistics, both for the Asia sub-region along with Oceania. Ends up being attacker-sided these days. So this will be a test now for Weibo.
5 seconds left. Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
More traditional lineup then from Weibo with the bandit available. Speakeasy will play that top left jacuzzi.
Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser.
And then they'll have the smoke and the Goyo combination to play pure defense and stall out space late round. It'll be interesting to monitor just how aggressively Weibo are on this extension. Initially starting both Cash and Garage Rafters with Turd self-sufficient with his Kiba barriers. Speakeasy in the meantime has also come across and good work on Kennels early.
Yeah, like this is a really good extension to just delay this push in, not giving it for free over towards Garage and Cash side of the map. Weibo will then look to peel back. But they've got that triple stack. Gotti, Holven will reinforce the site. Keep barrier. Just keep Tuhan at bay. Cairo, though, along with Bappin, have both made their way into Secret. Now, Reaps is top red stairs. At the rotate into Cash. EP really taking their time and giving respect over to this roam from Weibo, who now opt to fall back. They've wasted a minute. I'll go back and play the site. Jacuzzi still needs to be opened up as well.
Reloading ammo. And Cash and top red will be confirmed clear courtesy of the drone work from Tuhan. As Jigsaw watches his drone down below, just in case there is a lurk from Weibo, potential nitro, but it won't be the case with a full 5-stack second floor. Weibo committing to the peel and not over-committing to any engagements. Turd will eventually be forced out. Not forfeiting it entirely for free, but either way, now back to site. May elect to answer that payload.
Battle over the balcony. Bappin, Jigsaw, both outside, peeking these windows. Tuhan on the Monty as well joins them. 50 seconds, and again, Jacuzzi not really an option. Cairo down below, Deathmark activated onto Turd. He's gone into bathroom though, he's going to be safe. Or is he? Yeah, he should be.
Oven's the real threat inside of Jim. If Cairo elects to clear that, it could break down this defense.
Easy. Pushed down main stairs. Cairo wasn't expecting it. Little time remaining, and the vault in for Tuhan looks very uncomfortable into Jim. The Vulcan canister still in flames. Bappin down below wants to try and find a kill with the impacts. Yellow ping, but not enough to clear out Holven. Tuhan had to go with a pistol out, so he falls as well. That's case down towards Jim. Bappin towards main stairs, needed to win that battle and quickly. The swing and the swing from Speakeasy was unsuccessful, but Gotti and Turd on site defend. Weibo with the early start on Clubhouse, 2-0 lead on EP's map pick.
Enterprise not looking particularly comfortable inside of the server at the moment. If you're going to play a slow build-up, that's certainly fine. And they did get their opposition of Weibo in decent positions, but you need to be in sync there late. Fair play to Speak Easy, being able to disrupt early and catch Cairo, who didn't have a trade on offer. Hoffen was eventually dislodged, courtesy of Vappen's impact down below, but then the diffuser was dropped and the vault in towards site. Vappen then, as a result of having to play down below, wasn't in a position to then trade for main. Overall, a good start here from Weibo.
A very good start from Weibo. Enterprise just looking a little bit flaccid on the attack in that round, but arguably when you're playing that Montang, of course, that's going to be a big part of your identity. It's going to be slow. You want to push back the defense, but the problem is you never opened up Jacuzzi. So that whole gym, corner side, top main, hallway is just completely in control from the defense. Bappen is a little too late to main stairs because he's still having to put pressure from below because of that push down from Speakeasy to clear out Cairo. So all of these things are going the way of Weibo. They're setting the tone. They're playing well. They're forcing EP to have to adapt on the fly. Let's see if they can have an easier time on Cash and CCTV as Cairo will bring the blowtorch out on the Maverick. Too hard again on the Montang. Make that 3 straight rounds for him. His focus will be towards Rafters. Control. Turd playing that on the Azami. Reaps sitting in lounge at the moment on the Thorn.
And it feels like we've entered a bit of a time machine, not frequent. We'll see the blowtorch brought out here on the Mav for this wall in APL. Cairo's taken a big chunk of damage and the wall's still yet to be confirmed, although now soft, and it should be pretty simple and straightforward for Jigsaw to impact that open. Or Brendo with a returner if they so choose. He's focused though on some of the on-site util, double shield in play here from Weibo, and so Brendo should be able to extract some really nice value. And there is that main breach now exposed.
Yeah, not a heavy investment either for Weibo defending this Rafter position. It's basically Turd by himself. He's got company from Reaps. And they don't have catch. If anything, the Shamika launcher from Speakeasy can, of course, help for a long distance away as he sits inside a Cash, can get a good lineup to help. 90 seconds gone. And again, you're probably happier if you're in Weibo's position. EP's attacks right now have just looked a little bit slow going, not offering a lot to Weibo. But on the flip side, Weibo's also giving them nothing right now. They're not over-peaking. They're not playing overly aggressive. Playing set positions in a rather default-looking clubhouse.
Reaps scouted out, courtesy of the concussion from Jigsaw, but will resume his position.
Oh, Reaps! Almost got the third onto the Monty as well. Turn then over the shield. Hits the headshot onto Bappen. Total control towards Garage for Weibo Gaming. They have started hot. Only 2 on Brendo. This one's surely over for the 3rd round. Well, if Reaps is on today, he's going to be a difficult man to stop. As he finds his 3rd in the round, Tuhun's going to sit outside. They'll call an impromptu tactical timeout over the next 40 seconds. Talk things over. Hands are off the keyboard. It's 3-0 Weibo. And let the talk continue to commence.
My, oh my. EP are all over the place at the moment. The clear there onto Reaps, or lack thereof, was disappointing. They had the tools, they had the utility, but weren't able to connect that. The synchronization, again, falling short for the OS outfit. Hoven goes searching and he doesn't even get the kill.
Doesn't.
But Weibo get the round, and it's 3 straight as we enter the additional ban phase.
Well, if you go, Han, you're probably incredibly happy with that defensive first half of the half. 3 rounds gone, 3 sites. Very clinical. 3 opening kills straight. 4 alive, 3 alive. Pretty much 4 alive as well at the end, but really 5. Amos, Bandit will be the bans. To me, that says, if I'm Weibo, we have no problem with your Monty at the moment, Tuhan. You want to keep bringing it, by all means. Slow yourselves down. You're not getting value out of it. Clearly, the Montag's not working. I think Enterprise, 3 rounds to go, need to try and find a way to just get some more energy, get some more aggressiveness with their attacks.
I think it'll be interesting as well to see what the tactical timeout strategy will be here from MAG on the side of EP. Presumably, they lose one more round. You're forced into that tack. A 2-4 half is considered the benchmark. And I think that is a strength of Enterprise, especially with MAG as coach. We heard it, especially at SLC, the impact that he can have on this team in adjusting errors and making up for shortfalls and mistakes and being able to cause strats for future rounds. So,
Wall secured.
whilst it hasn't been the greatest of starts here for EP, still quite a ways from counting them out here on the opening map. But it is their selection, and they're not playing like it at the moment.
I mean, I expect them to do better on the defense. If that makes a bit of sense, I think that goes without saying. But they do need to probably find at least 2 attacking rounds. This time they're going to double down on the shields. Blackbeard plus the Montaigne combination. Okara is prone to playing shields as well. Rotate hole opened up from Turd to make his way back down secret. Sensing that into the double shield, maybe the roam game isn't going to be the right play. And I'd say that is the correct decision here from Weibo Gaming, putting some respect into the shields to clear out these roamers, although Turd actually just drops below the secret window.
Not the most respectful position ever seen.
Very slow, though, with the entry again from Enterprise. You've got double shield. You're only just now getting into construction. Then, for me, not quite alarm bells, but concerns.
When you're struggling to synchronize late pushes, you want that extra cushion for just a bit of time if a plan B is needed or you have to alter plans, and they're not really affording that right now. And Speakeasy, courtesy of this yokai inside of Logi, will call there's at least a couple top main, probably hearing the Monty specifically as well, and can relay that to the rest of the team. And I think Hoven might have pre-placed a Nitro main. We'll see if that lands. Not quite.
No, but it does make this area a little bit unsafe. He just lets them know. As he slips back into Moto, hatch still closed for now being opened up. Well, it's going to be the push for EP. That's going to win them this round if they're going to do it.
Oh, this is tricky.
Alvin aggressive at the hatch. Has it been droned yet? Oh, no. Turd shoots it out anyway.
Oh, he got out. You can see. Hoven can't believe he's gotten out of that position unscathed.
To be fair, there was no one really there for Enterprise. It's just the timing. This is going to be very late into the round, though, for Enterprise. If they don't go for a quick drop, go for a push right about now. 45 seconds.
And into the triple smoke of Reefs and potentially the util from Turd on Goyo. This looks pretty poor, plus the yokais.
Yokais need to be brought back, though. A lot of them are still around that first floor. So Speakeasy might not actually have the yokais towards the site. I've only seen them on first floor. Drop into Moto. Successful. Prone up close. Inside a church. Speakeasy's got his hands full. Can't get on the yokais anymore. Turd, though. Lovely clear onto both the shields. Reaps then shuts down Bappin. It's Weibo that make the first move. They may not be on the attack, but they're doing all the attacking at the moment. Drop down desperately in the hatch will not work for Jigsaw. Down to Brendo. No time remaining. Make it 4 straight from Weibo. Well, Hoven says bad attack in the chat. Turd says something else I can't repeat.
And to be fair, I think that is completely justified. Enterprise, for lack of a better description, look pretty asleep right now.
Enterprise. Mag has seen enough. Gohan would be ever pleased with the start here on Enterprise's map pick.
I think for Weibo, it's just about more of the same and reinforcement. And I think on the side of EP, it's about waking the boys up. Because at the moment, their map takes are slow. Their executions are late in the rounds, and they're making glaring errors and allowing Weibo into positions that are completely decimating these pushes with no time left and no avenue back into the round. That's why we're at a 4-0 scoreline. Weibo dominant at the moment. This is where you earn your paycheck, Mag.
Yeah, 100%. This is a tricky position to be in. You've got 2 rounds. And the beautiful part about this timeout at this moment from Mag, you win the next 2 rounds.
It's a salvageable position.
And you're fine.
Yep.
The half actually ends up not looking too bad. You only need the 2 attacking rounds on Clubhouse when you typically see in the APAC region, which both of these teams are from, and they'll understand how that works. So, gym bedroom, and then after that, cash and CCTV. still salvageable for Enterprise. Can Mag rally the troops? 2 very crucial rounds to play out. They still insist on the Monty.
Heading into the day, EP with 4 maps played here of club over the course of the year. Their attacking win rate, only 35%. It has been a weakness for them, and surely was a focal point for their preparation in this matchup. So far, they have not been able to benefit from that prep.
Switch. Love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
I think it was hamstringing.
4 rounds with the Monty. It's not working. You're, as you said, hamstringing your attack by playing that slower pace. And it's not that Tuhum necessarily play bad on the Monty, but it's just not working. They don't have that synergy with it. So I love the change up. They'll go double hard bridge, which means eventually they'll be able to open up Jacuzzi this time.
It also opens up Cairo to flex onto IQ into the Echo. So overall, a positive change here, I think, for EP.
This is a better looking attacking lineup for Enterprise. We'll see if it works. Oven lurking towards blue. Now this is something they may not be aware of. Well, the question will be if Hoven wants to make a push towards
he is creeping. Hoven is creeping. Almost caught the timing as Cairo popped up.
Well, he makes the shots, but that also gives his position away. It's now known he'll fall back and he'll make his way up main stairs.
Now, Weibo are not shying away from playing some fairly aggressive positions here on a map where it's not required. Probably sensing that EP is struggling to deal with it.
Swapping mags.
Well, they have forced Weibo back to site now, except for Hoven still bottom of main stairs. And look at that, they've gone chasing. Kara's gone all the way basement. Trying to assume that maybe Hoven might think about going back down basement for a late flank. And if so, then maybe I've got him caught. Kara's just going to go for it. Will Hoven be expecting this? Will he be ready for this? It's a pinch. They got one at the window as well. Jigsaw's ready for him to come. And Cairo just turned around at the wrong moment, and Hoven gets the free kill.
I need to reload.
It's a calamity. Hoven hits him with the question mark as well, and the teabag. Another opening kill for Weibo. They make it 5 straight. 60 seconds left. Nothing is working for Enterprise.
It really isn't at the moment. Weibo peel back to site. They've got shields to play into. Double Nitro. Reaps utility on the Thorn. And don't discount the impact of those yokais now bolstered with the IQ in the grave. This is a poor position for the attack.
Time starts to dwindle again for the 5th straight round. Enterprise have left themselves with little room. Brendo searching desperately at the balcony. More aggressive angles being opened up from Enterprise. They've got no choice. They need to be a little bit more aggressive, take some risks, take some chances. Nitrocell gets Brendo low. Jigsaw, the Oceanic hero, will fall inside of construction. Tuhun is there, but do you even have time for the revive? Well, he does get the kill onto Turd. Brendo gets one as well. And Tuhun to push in and find a second. Speakeasy Hoven just need to survive for one more second. Time expires. It's 5 straight to Weibo.
The tactical timeout is not converted by Enterprise. Weibo, honestly, at this point, are looking like they could pull off a flawless opening half.
They look like they could pull off a flawless opening map the way things are going. 2 rounds to go, and they could steal this, go to Nighthaven Labs, their map pick. Well, that
10 seconds to go.
personifies really, I think, the day so far for Enterprise. That singular moment from Cairo. If he gets that kill, you've got main stairs control. You can get the pinch. He dies like that. The round becomes so much more difficult. As much as Tuhun and Brendo did their best to try and salvage it, it was too little too late.
It feels like we're watching a train crash in real time for Enterprise at the moment. Very difficult to envision them being able to salvage a result here on map 1. And whilst that doesn't rule them out from breaking back this best of 3, as we said in the pre-show, all 3 maps pretty favorable for both teams, and they'll be comfortable and ready for Labs and Chalet if needed. I think it's just the style in which they're playing at the moment, their inability to improve and chip away and iterate. And the failure to respond to the tactical timeout as well is only going to compound the mental anguish for Enterprise.
Let's get cracking.
This is a big match. There's a lot of pressure. Elimination here at the Esports World Cup and further implications when it comes to the APL distribution of future slots going forward into the back end of 2026. Could you imagine a world in which this result ends in OS getting one slot going forward, and with how competitive OS is locally, Enterprise struggle to qualify in future? It's a doomsday scenario, but at the moment, it's a possibility.
Some serious drywall work coming up.
Well, if there is one saving grace for Enterprise going into the map pick of Weibo, they did beat them on Night Haven Labs back at the previous major. I have a feeling, though, Weibo have probably workshopped and reviewed and ready to give it a second go, hence their selection. Final round of the half. Cash and CCTV. So far, nothing found from Enterprise. It's been flawless from Weibo. Gotten every single opening kill. They haven't allowed a single plant from Enterprise. Enterprise don't have a single statistic.
Hoven in bathroom, by the way. They get the pinch. Is Hoven's position known? I thought I saw a red ping, but maybe I'm seeing things.
No, they've got
they couldn't have been.
Well, they might drone it. Nope.
Oh, no.
Oh,
No.
Hoven's position is completely unknown.
Well, he just has to find the timing.
And
They have
now
no
the
idea.
Timing is found. Bye-bye, Jiggy. You're done. Headshot, back of the head. Sit this one out. Air jab. Hoven surely dies here, right? No? Surely? Yes. Eventually. Tuhan finds his 5th kill. 1 for 1.
Make a new door.
Ends up being quite net neutral, but at least for Hoven to have found that kill from the bathroom position. And a battle god, he caught Cash. Throwing out the gas babe. He goes down, but reaps elsewhere. Found the headshot onto Brendo. So again, equal numbers for both teams. Gotti really should not be in a revivable position. Stuck in the middle of Cash. With the walls opened up, EP have got good pressure into this bomb site. Cairo at the CC window. But they've got no pressure garage side, so this is really easy for Turd.
Oh, this is risky.
Jump in, turn around.
Explode.
Then you've also got the cover being wards. Oh my goodness! Turd has just completely sacked Tuhan down on the vault-in headshot. It's flawless from Weibo. 6-0 on club.
Can you believe it?
Turd has absolutely put Tuhan into the grave 6 feet deep.
Again, though, glaring problems and issues for Enterprise over the course of that round. No more opportunities to find success on the attack as we switch across and the roll swap timeout. EP will need to defend flawlessly to push overtime. Now, the beauty of being in this setup and the fact that we can just turn around and look at player and coach reactions. When that miss drone happened at the beginning of that 6th round, I thought Mag's neck was going to snap off. You could just see his reaction, so disappointed, viscerally, that those kinds of mistakes creeping in at the top tier of Siege in an elimination match.
When was the last time we saw Enterprise get this beaten this badly in general? This is the sort of result that maybe you expect if it's an Enterprise versus FaZe Clan. And even still, I can't recall a time they've been demolished in this fashion. 6 straight opening kills. 6 straight round wins. Not a single multi-kill round from Enterprise and not a single successful plant. There is no statistic that is positive for Enterprise in that half of Siege.
You do not see too many more dominant halves of Siege. And for a matchup where two teams are the best in their respective sub-regions, and where we have history between these two rosters split down the middle,
and history
didn't expect this.
Enterprise, of course, beating Weibo 2-0 at SLC.
And it was a very convincing 2-0.
And not just that, but you go APAC Finals last year, and prior to that, anything online, it's always been close. It's always been a contest. Never seen anything like this. So the halftime break coming to a close in the next 20 seconds. I don't even know what you say if you're Mag at this point. If you go Han, it's lock in for this one round, boys, and let's 7-0 them.
Yep. Well, they've been playing a ruthless brand of Siege so far. And that has been a huge improvement in Weibo over the last 12 months, is their ability to just close out games, not mess around, not make mistakes, reduce trolling. And so I'm expecting that here. 7-0. Then they get the job done. On the flip side for EP,
that's a mental defeat too. It's a mental defeat.
Yeah.
As much as it is a defeat. You know, we talk about matches, if you think back earlier in the tournament, the Fnatic lost to FaZe Clan 7-2. And we were sitting there, oh, we can find the positives.
Yeah.
There is not a positive in this game.
No. Hey, trust us. If there was anybody on this planet that could find a positive for an OS team, it would be you and I. And unfortunately, it has just been absolutely a demolition job from Weibo so far.
I guess the one positive is the game's not over yet. You've got 6 rounds to try and find.
But you have 2 more maps. There is a possibility EP rebound map too.
You've got at least 1 more map.
Yeah, at least.
So the bands in play, Kaid, Mira, Blackbeard, and the Solid Snake. 6-0. Can Weibo close this out flawlessly to begin this elimination series, which feels like it only just started?
Now, to the best of my knowledge, we have had just the 1-7-0 so far here at the Esports World Cup. That was CAG over all gamers back in the upper bracket quarterfinal. It was a best of 1, mind you. Don't believe we've seen one in the best of 3 format so far. Would be astounding if that is to be the case. The basement we go. And a big roam to be deployed here from EP, courtesy of the Castle and Mute.
And to highlight Turd a little bit, 7-3, mainly in relation to their game 2 days ago. Well, he didn't have a great game. He was like 2-11 until the very end. Maybe finished with 3 or 4 kills. But this is the sign again of a player that is so good with his mental.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect him. He bounces back. Similar, actually, to a great example being Vidiking yesterday for FaZe Clan when he started 0-9 and then top fragged the next 2 maps.
Yeah.
I think that's always the, thing that you've got to understand is you can have a bad game, but it's about the best players to bounce back and bounce back quickly. An update on the B stream as well, 3, 2, and 1 for those that are not watching both, but it is all gamers 7-1, and we've got a rush here on this round from Weibo, wanting to end it quickly. Jigsaw did get the first pick, but he does die. All gamers 7-1 over Secret on the first map.
Feels like we've been waiting for CNL to arrive here at Esports World Cup, and that could be potentially a big result for them. But as it stands here between Weibo and EP, 4 alive for each. As the first minute comes to a completion, 2-2 split. Make that more now towards Spaceman as EP peel back. Final barricade deployed from Brendo. And space now afforded to Weibo with all 4 members of the defense, Spaceman.
Found my next target.
Well, the curious thing for me will be the timing difference when Weibo go for the execute. Enterprise were firmly in the last 30-second window of the rounds. Look at his jug of payload, by the way, from Turd. Damage onto Cairo, Bappin, and Brendo. Just keeps everyone a little bit lower. And Tuhan will be next. 60 seconds remaining in the round as the Blitz of Speakeasy posturing towards bottom of main stairs. Gets rid of the mute gem, allows that drone to go down.
Weibo in days gone by really loved electing for the Ashwall rush here into B. I'm curious to see if they try and go for something similar here. Pretty challenging given the setup though from EP, so it's probably an unlikely outcome.
Turd is pressuring outside of Dirt. But the creep down bot main is successful for Hoven. Cairo may not even know that he's tucked in. They are leaving it rather late into the round, and it will be a drop down through the hatch of Kitchen for the Blitz. Turd has made his way back to Kitchen after showing some presence towards Dirt, just to keep Tuhan honest.
Last smoke from Tuhan.
Or is it out? Hoven clears out Cairo. They've got bot main control. Church has opened up. Tuhan's low. Bappin, clean headshot. Speakeasy will go for the plant. They've got the cover positions, though, well set from Weibo. Hoven, easy clear onto Bappin with the plant successfully down. It's only Brendo and Tuhan to clutch up to avoid a 7-0 disaster on their map pick of Clubhouse. Speakeasy, pistol out, but that leaves an opening. Brendo takes it, but needs to get moving. The kit being watched from above. Both attackers are on this first floor position.
Brendo needs to be quick with his decision making, and same for Tuhan, who gets on the kit. Brendo wanted to cover, but dead immediately from third. Tuhan's off the kit, 15 seconds. He cannot do anything. It's going to be 7-0 on the opening map of this elimination game at the Esports World Cup. EP wanted the trash talk in the first map, and then they themselves get trashed.
Yeah, put perfectly. Weibo have put EP in the bin in the opening map, but it's important that they don't get too far ahead of themselves. A great performance, a great start. Now Weibo need to go on and get the job done.
They certainly do. And you know what? In times gone old, you would have said, oh, look, 7-0 from Weibo. They could still bottle the second map. I don't think this is the same Weibo. This is not the same team. This is a different beast altogether. Salt Lake City, throw it out the window. It doesn't matter anymore. This roster has improved tenfold over stage one, and coming into EWC, they have turned into a different team altogether. This is what we need to see if you want to be an APAC fan. Unfortunately, if you're an OS fan, if you're from OS, maybe if you're from Melbourne very particularly, you're not too happy. But, Jake, that is an unbelievable performance from EP. They never let the door
From
open.
EP?
Oh, sorry, from Weibo.
Well, to be fair, it was an unbelievable performance from EP. Because I haven't seen them play like that, maybe ever.
Yeah.
Maybe ever.
Yeah.
This is the kind of game, by the way, where it's a bit of column A and a little bit of column B. Just to put it out there, Weibo sensation.
Yeah.
You can't take anything away from them. Really clinical. I think they responded from the first day's performance coming into group stage. They've had 2 days to kind of warm up into things, probably scrim, and certainly fold review. And they look like a team that has got back to their best. Really good control around the map. Happy to take gunfights, but on their terms, and then know when to fall back. And so EP were afforded nothing. Weibo make 0 mistakes, and EP struggled then on the attack. They just were too slow to push through. They didn't want to take risks, and therefore they weren't rewarded.
Yeah.
EP could have played this so much better. They would know that. Weibo would know that. They'll get a chance on Nighthaven Labs, but we'll see if they've actually got the balls to take the risks.
You could see the disappointment from Mag the second the game finished. I was kind of turning around, looking for the reactions from both teams. And you kind of saw EP just, they knew what happened. They knew what happened. They just immediately got up, didn't say anything, walked straight out the back. And I think that, for me, is what we need. I don't want to see internal fighting right now. This, regardless of whatever happened on this map, look, you move over to Nighthaven Labs, that's where you've really got to dig deep. Guys, there's really not much to take away if you're EP here. In fact, I would say there's almost nothing that you could take away from the positive side.
I mean, as one-sided and as deflating as that result will be for the guys, I look back to the FaZe result yesterday, right, where they were a team where, regardless of map veto, would have expected to do a lot better in the opening map. A little different, given that in this circumstance it was EP's selection for the opening map, but they went behind the scenes, they refocused, they came out, and they look like a different team on the second map. And so EP, if they want to be a serious international team, that's what we need to see from them now. Can they come out? Can they play well from the opening round? Can they take more risk? And if they elect not to take more risk, can they be more refined? Because on Clubhouse, they played a very safe, very slow brand of Siege, the kind of map where it can work, but you need to be refined. And they made way too many errors to have ever won that map. They would have lost to a lot of teams if they played like that. It wasn't just Weibo playing well, although they did. And that's the concerning thing now. We're going to Weibo's map pick. So I'm not expecting them to put the foot off the gas whatsoever.
No, that's the big problem right now. Weibo, they've got the bull by the horns and they are looking phenomenal. In fact, probably the best we have ever seen them. It's time for us to go to a short break. EP's game is on the line.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by Play.
We were there for every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind, and we're here. Now, the proud founding partner of EWC, powering the biggest event in gaming, shoulder to shoulder with the world's best, making history. Greatness deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion, reach your impossible.
It all comes down to this for EP. Their series, their EWC life is on the line. And really, their life is in Weibo's hands at the moment. And God, they look like surgeons. They are clinical. They are looking so dangerous. We turn our conversation to Night Haven Labs, which unfortunately, if you are an EP fan, this is not their map pick. This is Weibo's map pick. And you've got to imagine, guys, going into this, they will be well and truly ready to dominate again.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Weibo have developed themselves into being a very ruthless team domestically. Internationally, maybe it's still yet to be proven, or at least not to the same level. So this is a good opportunity for them with full confidence, full momentum to try and grab that early on their map selection.
Well, they beat Weibo on this map back at the previous major. But my concern would be then when you win a map, do you then go back and try and get better at it? No, probably not. Weibo would have. Hence why they picked it. They're ready to go back to Labs. We know what you did. We're going to beat you. Now we're ready for it. And we've got some new tricks. So that's my expectation going into this map. The 7-0 in Clubhouse is really going to be dependent on the mentality of Enterprise. Can they reset quickly?
Yep.
And if they can, the 7-0 is irrelevant. You go into Night Haven Labs. They are going to start on defense, which is going to get them some rounds. That will get them some confidence. They'll probably try and trash talk their way back into things mentally. And that may work for them. Maybe that's something that actually could get them going. So if they can start well in the first half as expected, yeah, don't be too surprised if this map is far more even than, of course, the opening map, but that really should go without saying.
Well, look, the stats will definitely suggest that. These two teams have played 4 different series. In 4 different series, they have played Night Haven Labs 3 times.
What's the record?
It is 2-1 to EP.
Well, could be equaled up.
It should realistically at the moment, with the way Weibo are playing, every sign points to the positive.
Well, Rob, I'll go to you on this one. What's your win condition then coming into this second map if you're Enterprise?
Look, if I'm Enterprise right now, they are starting on defense. They cannot afford to stay limber. They cannot afford to allow Weibo to dictate the pace, because that's what Weibo were doing. Weibo was saying, you know what, Clubhouse, we know exactly how this plays out. Let's play time here. And boy, did they play it well. Right now, if Weibo come onto this map and you look at what they did when they went attack on Club, what did they do? They picked the pace up. They turned on a dime. Right now, EP needs to control this match. They need to control the pacing. They need to control their own destiny. It's time for us to get underway. EP are but one map away from being sent home packing, whilst Weibo, their storyline, it's only just beginning.
Oh, that's fire from you, Rob. A bit of analysis and then a great throw. He is not just a host, not just a pretty face. We'll see if this can actually end up being the game that we build, that we set up to be the APAC El Clasico. Because right now, it's looking like just the regular old APAC Day 2 groups.
Oh, I hope so. Let's jump into the ban phase as it does now conclude Kaya, Yeed, Mira, so double focus on Heartbreach Denial. And then EP responding with the Monty and the Solid Snake ban. I'm very intrigued when we enter the second half, mind you, as to whether or not that Monty is going to be left up for EP, but a discussion for a later time.
And again, reiterating, starting on the defense for Enterprise, that is so important for them. They just need some rounds. They need a bit of comfortability. I think a big factor, and usually is the case in any match that's a 7-0, more often than not, is the starting side. Of course, Weibo being able to start defense, Clubhouse sets them up to snowball those rounds that eventually gets them flawless first half. And then all it took, of course, was the one attacking round. But we only got to see the one attacking round. Now they will be far more tested in their attack here on Nighthaven Labs, 6 rounds at minimum. No surprise, top floor to begin. Enterprise need a nice early round win.
5 seconds to insertion.
And this is a coach battle just as much as it is for the players. Whenever you go and play a map that these two teams played against each other a couple of months ago, Enterprise winning it, but then Weibo picking it, to me that suggests it's as much Gohan versus Magnet.
Now, unfortunately, back on map 1, when EP were 4-0 down, Mag called that tactical timeout, and unfortunately for him, the team failed to successfully respond. Ultimately developed into a 7-0, a crushing defeat for Enterprise. But the beauty of the best-of-3 format is it will remain irrelevant if they are to win out Labs.
I saw Tuhan lounge early there, and I think that's a good sign. You want EP to be active. You don't want to just be sitting back. Of course, command server is going to largely play in that fashion, but I think what you want to see them is be on the front foot, be active, happy to swing, hold positions, fight for things like electrical and rafters. You play too passive against Weibo and give them space and the time of day. They will punish it. And the best thing is now you look up and it's 0-0. It's no longer 6-0, 7-0. Forget the first map. It's gone. Don't worry about it. Move on.
So 5 death marks available here for Hoven. He can take his pick and start pressuring on the vert, and there's no one from EP to greet him on that first floor position.
Triple stack con meeting side right now from Weibo, so that's not bad if you're Enterprise. You want them coming one direction. Not a lot of IT rafters pressure, which is really good for Brendo on the Azami. He can be more comfortable, although Hoven creeps now through control, so he can actually make his way back up to create a battle with Brendo. So Brendo's going to be cautious here. Yeah, it's all quiet on this front now, but there is a lurker.
Weibo leaving it late here in the opening round, and they've also left the kit behind.
If Brendo goes for a... Oh, never mind, Hoven's made too much noise, but I thought if Brendo wanted to go for a door swing to gain intel, well, Hoven was in a great position to punish that, but Brendo kept himself sitting nicely tucked in on that corner position on the rotate. Yeah, time a big factor now for Weibo. They'll need to find the first kill or two pushing into sight. That's not good for Speakeasy either. He's going to be stuck in the corner for a few more seconds. Death mark activated from Hoven. Has Bappen dead to rights. Good follow-up from Speakeasy, but a massive Nitrocell from Cairo. Shuts down Gotti. And a good swing onto Jigsaw from Speakeasy. Keeps the round alive for Weibo. He's not done yet, but the Vault team will not be successful. Cairo's found 2, and a 3rd from Cairo. Hoven needs all 3 kills. He doesn't have the kit, and the time is starting to expire. It's taken far too long, but Enterprise have got around in the series.
Big round from Cairo, 0-7 on Clubhouse. Maybe doing his Vida King impression here on map 2 as he gets off to a very strong start. You guys can't see it at home, but the chatter resumes in the old chat as well. They're going at it. This is good. Maybe we have a contest on our hands. Speakeasy got crunched over towards Con. Hoven down below on the Deimos, not in a position to find a trade, and the rest of the team then also isolated. Reaps specifically caught out. And finally, some emotion on the side of EP.
Well, that's what I was saying before. I think it's them starting on defense, get themselves pumped up, get themselves energetic. Clearly was the case after winning that opening round, which whenever you get 7-0, then you can win the first round of the next map. That's all that matters.
Deploy the shield.
Good round from Cairo. Very active. Hence 3 important kills. A little bit questionable, though, from Weibo in a lot of the decision-making in that round. Very one-dimensional push.
Attackers are moving to
It's very easy on that side to get kind of squeezed in if you're going singular in a way, either IT side or you're going con side. Tuhan, by the way, first pick inside 10 seconds. Spawn kill gets rid of the Maverick with no secondary hard breach either. Hard breach is gone in this round for Weibo. Now, the importance of this, guys, is on control storage. You want IT opened up. It's not going to be possible now for Weibo. Do they go for a big pivot and think control might need to be the side of choice? That's a huge opening kill for Enterprise.
Yeah, you would imagine they kick into gear for some horizontal play. Although still currently hovering on the buck here, clearly eager to establish some vert and at least flush out these defensive positions from Enterprise, but with IT remaining closed, it's going to open up more freedom over towards Rafters, and AP not going to be as easily deterred from this second floor. This is a good tester for Weibo. This is a tricky round for the attack.
This is a shootout the drone testing. Reeps is giving over to EP. This is also a good test for Weibo too, and their ability to adapt to what's happened, losing the Maverick, no longer able to open up those holes by IT. Speakeasy will go over towards blue. Watching for potential Rafters. Window swing from Brendo, but he's on call right now for the Jugger payload. He will eat the call, take the damage, and Bappin will fall to Speakeasy. Successful push into blue. Cairo's also low inside a server, but a wonderful headshot. And dancing around the server rack very nicely as Weibo are still opting for this top-down clear. They have got command control. Cairo will need to be precise, but he cannot find the scalp of the Blackbeard. But what he can do is drop. They give up top floor, but it's a 4v3.
Double smoke still up here for Jigsaw, and a lot of problem solving to take place for Weibo. Can they isolate these members of the EP defense? I think a large portion of the round here for Weibo hinges on Speakeasy being able to find a bit of space, a bit of information, maybe a kill or two. And then Turd and Reeps need to play supporting acts.
Capello call on to Tuhan, and he's getting peppered as well. Over towards storage, he's going to have to eat this call. Doesn't have the space or the time, so he gets taken low as well. He and Cairo, both low on health. Turd collects one. Traded immediately, though, by Jigsaw, who throws out his final gas babe. Speakeasy, shield back up, heading into storage. Still need to get the plant down, and they can't knock because Brendo, Jigsaw, both combined for one apiece. Make it two for EP.
This is better from Enterprise, looking far more cozy and comfortable here on defense. Labs. Weibo losing that key stakeholder in the round of the Maverick, and it really constricted them on the top floor clear.
Early tactical timeout from Gohan. 2 rounds in, he's seen enough. He feels as if there's some fundamental issues. In fact, even Jigsaw in the chat says, holy, early timeout. Something must be seriously going wrong. I will say, you've got to remember, Enterprise are good in this map. We spoke about it, guys. They beat Weibo on Nighthaven Labs back in Salt Lake City. Not only that, but you look at the teams that they've beaten on this map over the last 3 months. This is the record. 7-1 over Chiefs, their main competitor within the Oceanic region. They beat Falcons on this map, 8-6. And they lost to Shopify Rebellion only in a 6-8 fashion. Of course, beat Weibo, and they beat Man LFO. But, I mean, that one's take it how you want. Early timeout expires for Weibo. Gohan sending the message. Wants to rally the troops. Basement up next. Mag would be much happier with their performance here on Labs than what he saw on Clubhouse. And happier with the response.
Yeah, absolutely. They've awoken from their Clubhouse slumber and they're here to play on Labs. Which will hopefully mean that we have a good contest on our hands. Basement, third side of choice here from AP. And I think for Weibo, it's just about refining things across the board a little bit. I think it'll be intriguing to see what their approach is going to be on this specific site, how much of it ends up being direct versus indirect. Do they want to go for the clear? The sledge would indicate that's probably going to be the case. And then I think it's probably looking across at the likes of the Deimos and the hands of Turd. Can they try and extract maybe a little bit more value from that, find some more information? But a good opportunity for the likes of Speakeasy on this roster to kind of stand up, be the leader for the team, We could see there from Gohan, he was on the receiving end of a lot of that messaging, and it's up to him to then instill it on the rest of the roster.
Well, let's see how Weibo can respond after the tactical timeout, an early one from Gohan. Also would be positive reinforcement coming the way from Mag for EP. Gets to also hold the one and only tactical timeout remaining. Exothermic charge at the basement breach. Not a big investment from Enterprise on this first floor, no one top floor. Deathmark on to Tuhan, but he sits basement. In fact, the only one basement at the moment. Weibo will get a very easy clear on the top floor. Holman will be certainly the most impactful. Oh, never mind. Oh, put the biggest moz on him. What a shot from Jigsaw. And as I was about to say, the most impactful operator that they have on the board on this top-down clear with the sledge, it's no longer available.
They keep losing too many key and crucial operators early round.
In the previous round, now the sledge. And if you're Enterprise, you can fall back, play basement. The vert that can be created now is far more limited to what Weibo initially wanted. It's a second kill found from the lower vert position. Weibo just trying to open up the floorboards, and EP is shooting bullets.
Feels like we're watching two entirely different teams inside of the server.
Are we going to get back-to-back 7-0s? But in reverse.
That would be something.
Enterprise have responded perfectly on Ninehaven Labs. Everything going their way. Good shots, good control, and just starting to get the semblance that they've got a bit more confidence within themselves. Their positioning, wanting to take these fights. It's far different to what we saw in Clubhouse.
They're playing it on their terms here on Labs, commanding map position, hitting sharp shots, and not opening up the route for Weibo to trade their way into site control. A Hail Mary play now in the final 30 seconds.
Hail Mary, go direct, see if you can hit a few shots, get into a plant position, and then get the crossfire. That's probably their last chance with 25 seconds left. Jigsaw holding assembly. He's got the really good cross here. He's going to have to be the one that they need to beat. They do. He swung. He gave them first contact. Speakeasy with a good kill. That allows Gotti to go for a plant inside of tank. But Speakeasy shot out by Bappa and double through the hatch. Reeves is all that's left, and while he does find the kill onto Brendo, he will not be afforded surely the chance to find Tuhan. 3 seconds drop. He does get cased. There is absolutely no chance that Tuhan is going to mess this one up. EP make it 3 straight, despite a little reprieve from Reeves at the end. It was far too late.
And exit kills. It's a 3-0 start for Enterprise. And Weibo failing to convert that tactical timeout puts them in a very vulnerable, a very compromised position for the remainder of this map. We'll see what the additional bans end up being and what each team is sensing is the best foot forward. Weibo will triple down with hard breach denial. And EP taking the ace off the board, maybe trying to force Weibo into that thermite, which has been a selection for them over the course of the half so far.
Well, back to command server, and the way that this story goes, guys, is this site is very difficult to attack. 4-0 is more likely right now than 3-1. We did not get the chalet decided between these two teams back in Salt Lake, as it was a 2-0 to Enterprise. Right now, at this very moment, it feels very, very likely, but this is defender-sided, Ninehaven Labs. Although I said the same for Clubhouse back in the opening map, and it didn't matter in the end.
5 seconds left.
The Weibo dropped the Deimos for this top floor attack. They invested heavily and got it down below last time out on this objective, and unfortunately it didn't really reap the reward that they were looking for. And so this time around, it's very large emphasis in terms of both the double hard breach and some of the util clearance. Sensing that this will be a heavy horizontal hit. It's then on Weibo to split that accordingly. Probably looking to have maybe a bit more back pressure this time out, the likes of Top Blue. Rafters as well will be a focal point for this attack. But for the first minute and a half to 2 minutes, it will just be checklist.
Time to ring some ears.
No contact with RCE.
Take cover. It's hot.
The Ace fan is still very intriguing to me when you've got the Thermite and the Hibana combination anyway. The Maverick was played earlier, so they've even shown that they're more than happy to bring that out too, pending the game plan for the particular site. Oh my god, I heard just a one tap, and I see that Reeves is dead. Jigsaw with another question mark. Jigsaw with back-to-back opening kills.
And again, it's another isolated entry fight. Weibo have gotten nothing from that, and there was no trade attempt allowed.
Information from Cairo. It's all going the way of Enterprise. Doing to Weibo what Weibo did to them on Clubhouse. I'm getting flashbacks of FaZe and Virtus Pro yesterday, guys. This is so similar.
It's an even more extreme example at the moment.
Kyra connects with a Nitrocell. Turd, 50-second kill. Air jab collects Jigsaw. Good follow-up from Gotti. And now if Weibo want, little reset. Fall back, breeds. You've got a minute, 3 versus 3. It's a stalemate as things stand in the 4th round. But Hoven wanting to push forward, dies to Tuhan. At least the trade was there. Brendo caught sprinting. Gotti finds the kill. Turd as well, captures Cairo. Weibo unlock the top floor. Whoa. From what looked like maybe a 4-0 start, Weibo get a crucial attacking round.
Yeah, some really good comms late round there in terms of the positioning of the defense with one below, and Brendo then caught the flood and the trade in towards the site as well. Weibo have done a really, really nice job to recover that round. And whilst it started out great for Jigsaw, that mistake right there by missing the air jab, it opened up that window of opportunity. Brendo then got caught, isolated courtesy of the smoke, and Weibo clutch up a critical round.
Yeah, a huge round to win. Top floor on the attack for Weibo. Arguably with 2 rounds to go in this half, they may only need 1 more attacking round. That could be the difference on the defensive-sided nature of this map.
Reinforcing wall.
Control storage to follow in the 5th round. Really does feel like a missed opportunity for Enterprise to solidify a 4-0 lead.
10 seconds to insertion.
Do we have an update on the B stream? By any chance? Is that what you're looking at?
3, 2, 1. Yes, we do. They are also on Nighthaven Labs at the moment. Map 2 of that best of 3. Team Secret fighting back a 3-2 lead.
All reinforced.
A reminder, the winner of this series will play Virtus Pro. The winner of the B stream match between All Gamers and Secret will play Furia. Those matches will be tomorrow.
Special charge, stay clear.
Great crowd involvement here at EWC.
It's been really nice here in Paris. The weather's been great. As I said, a lot of fan involvement. Looking forward to getting on the main stage as well. Will we see one of these two on the main stage? So checklist work from Weibo here for control storage. One high water sent in towards storage with the bees. Duhan will just navigate his way towards the warehouse breach. Doesn't find anything on the initial peak.
This is a risky talk. Very, very risky and exposed position.
Oh, on drone as well. Oh my goodness. Big play from Turd. The impact trick down below on the Sophia. And expecting a follow-up, he absolutely rinses Gyro. Huge power play from Turd. And that might be enough for Weibo to think about going for a plant. Gotti towards storage. Although, they're not going to go for it just yet.
Gotta reload.
Yeah, Gotti's still outside watching IT breach, keeping Brendo at bay. Enterprise are expecting this plant. They're expecting to try and contest this breach and the vert, but it's easier said than done.
Bappin falls to Speakeasy, who finds 2 quick kills at Rafter's position. This may end up being flawless. It won't be, though, because of Jigsaw.
down to a single health point. Weibo to find back-to-back attacking rounds when it looked like they were on the canvas. Killed him with the flashbang. Are you serious? He has killed him with the flashbang.
It just grazed the shoulder. That's a rarity. Probably summarizes this series so far.
Seen it all. Seen it all. 2-3. Weibo fighting back on Nighthaven Labs. Let's look back at the replays. It started with Tuhan, a little risky. And in turn, what a double kill from him. And let's look back at this flashbang. Oh my.
And look,
that's all right.
Things have changed so quickly. Weibo have really snapped into action here and applying the pressure back onto Enterprise. Weibo have reached the benchmark. They'll be pretty happy at this point in time. Enterprise will be eagerly searching for the final of the half.
Yeah, I mean, if it does get to 4 rounds for EP, probably not too bad. But the question is,
can they defend their side?
They're going to get to 4 rounds because we're going kitchen cafeteria.
Oh boy.
We saw it earlier in the tournament. That was a Shopify Rebellion from memory that played it, and they won it on the defense.
It is possible, but probably best described as improbable. We'll see what they've cooked up. I'm eager to see.
Well, yeah, again, this is the most attack-decided site on this map, and it's not even close. This is a brazen call from Enterprise, but let's see what they've worked strategically on to try and make this a difficult site for Weibo.
It looks like they'll go for the lobby stairs stack with the clash and then the catch from Tuhan. Trying to absorb a ton of utility, and it actually works out early. Reeps gets caught on the overpeak or maybe trying to lodge some util into this position. Cairo ready and waiting.
A 4-2 split on the entry battle for EP in their favor this half. Will they be able to close out the half with a round win that feels now very much needed?
Special charge. Stay clear.
Hey, car, it's hot.
Altert did spot someone through the floorboard initially with the drone, now wants to hold the angle and see if they'll make their way back. Speakeasy, connect aside. Arrow still with the shield down on the clash. Doesn't opt to pick it up, instead opted for the swing while full white. Turd beaten out by Jigsaw. He finds his 6th kill of the half. Cairo still alive. He's done a really good job to just stay alive. I don't know if he can stay alive much longer, but he almost catches Hoven and still able to escape. Despite the pressure and despite his health, Cairo has gotten away. A big moment here for Enterprise, 5 versus 3.
Oh, all the big moments in this round going the way of the defense. Weibo well and truly on the back foot. 60 seconds, so time to work with. And an EXO that can expose the objective. Still a very, very difficult prospect.
Hoven creeping down the hallway. There is a yellow ping. Good clear on to Brendo. Knew of his position. They lose Tuhan. Jigsaw to fall as well. 3 quick kills in succession for Weibo.
And Speakeasy gives a signal. Let's wait. Hand up.
Well, there's plenty of time still left. Bappin also losing out in that battle, so low on health along with Cairo. Cairo's found another one. Bappin can't win his though, and they got his shots down. The clash that looked so ominous at the beginning of the round. We are tied though at the end of this half. It started with 3 to EP, and Weibo just go whack. 3 straight themselves. We are tied.
Yes, we are. And it looked good for Enterprise at the tail end of the round with a 2-player advantage and a successful peel onto the site. But a great push 90 and really good leadership there from Speakeasy. Like quite literally hand off the keyboard, telling the guys, let's slow down, let's stop. And with Cairo low on HP.
5v3 though. 5v3.
Yeah.
Kitchen cafeteria is a difficult piece to defend. You have to be perfect. And honestly, Enterprise looked perfect in the first 3 rounds, guys. This is a little bit surprising. They had all the momentum. Started to get the trash talk going again. They had some good form built up. Go back to a mistake such as that. That was a 4v3 moment with the air jab. That opens up the site on that top floor. And the rest of the half crumbled after it. Just winning gunfights.
Yeah, a lot of the
Flashbang fights.
a lot of the straight up 50-50 fights ended up being pretty favorable. Another really good example there with Bappin dying in the final round and a half as well. Just a little more clutch around the board at the moment for Weibo, a 3-3 scoreline.
8 kills for Speakeasy. He is the kill leader at the moment here on Nighthaven Labs.
You do not say that sentence every day of the week.
Not these days. A couple of years ago, certainly. 7 for Cairo. We're looking at the series between the two maps now. 13-7 for Speakeasy, 14-7 for Turd. Both of them are actually 2-0 on the entry. And not a single player for Enterprise into double digits yet. Tuhan the closest with 9 kills across the two maps. 8 for Jigsaw, 7 each for Cairo and Bappin. 6 for Brendo. But the halftime scheduled timeout will expire. We head into the bands. Weibo 4 rounds away from knocking out Enterprise. And as per the story of the day here for the Battle of APAC, the 2 slots for the next major. Weibo need to win this and then beat Virtus Pro. If they are successful in that, Asia will acquire 2 slots. Enterprise need to hold on and try and get themselves back into this series. Otherwise, there is some world that they could lose the 2 slots. Of course, Virtus Pro is going to be a difficult prospect for either of these two teams.